Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. Droid Life Show today, episode 229. It is Friday, March 27th. I'm your host, Kelly. With me, Tim. Tim, please say hi.
Hey guys, Tim here. How's it going?
It is good to be back. The world has changed since our last show. So last show, it's been almost a month now, and we had some weird technical difficulties. Maybe there was a sign. Could have been a sign
That
of what was to come, that
yeah.
everything was going to go to hell. And here we are. So again, it's March 27th. Most of us are home, shelter in place, keeping distances, that sort of thing. But it's good to be back on air to see all of you in the chat. If you're watching us live, thanks for listening. If you're tuning in later, it's just, it's definitely good to get back on here. So lots to talk about. I mean, it feels kind of weird jumping on and being like, yay, let's talk about phones and shit. But like, we got to do something, right? So we can't just sit there silently in our houses. Like, we'll probably all go mad if we're not already.
Already have.
Yeah. It's starting to feel a little bit of that. So anyway, welcome back to the show, Droid Life Show. We do topics and trivia if you're new around here. Yeah, it's been a while. I got to get back in the swing of things here. So we'll run through a list of topics, relevant stuff. And then at the end of every show, we do live trivia, where if you are tuned in live, you can win stuff. So we'll have 5 questions. We'll give prizes to 5 winners. And what are we giving away this week? $10 Google Play credit to everyone. Good timing for some free credit. Movies, games, apps, whatever the hell you need. We're all not moving much these days, so perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect. So again, at the end of the show, we'll do trivia. You can win $10. Not bad.
Yeah, you could use that to, almost buy half of, was that new Star Wars movie, The Rise of Skywalker. What a fantastic film.
I think in 4K it's like $25, so you're not even halfway.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the thing where Google's like, 4K stuff's gonna be the same price as non-4K, and then that sort of is here on some things. It's like selectively chosen.
Well, yeah, I mean, God forbid Google lies or something like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm just waiting for it to come on Disney Plus, man. I mean, what's the point of buying a Star Wars movie these days?
I mean, I did buy it because you have to add it to the collection so that you have them all. And then I'll probably just watch it on Disney Plus anyway. So
sure.
Okay. Should we dive into some topics? Catch up on some stuff? There's actually quite a bit of stuff. Things. Okay, so let's start. We'll talk about coronavirus a little bit here, right?
Coronavirus.
There's things that are we're all affected by this, but there's things in the industry that we cover that you should know about. So, for example, the biggest thing out of the gate was the FCC telling all of its friends and family in the industry, like Comcast and Verizon and carriers and internet companies, whatever, media players, all of them, don't charge late fees, don't disconnect people. And basically everyone said, sure, FCC, we will do that. So if you run into an issue where you can't pay your bill, most of these carriers, basically all of them, I don't want to say all, but basically all the main ones that you're probably subscribed to. If you can't pay your bill, go to them and tell them, and you might have to fill out a form. You might have to do some explanation there, but they should keep you connected, not disconnect you, not charge you late fees, that stuff. So that's number one. That's an important piece of this whole thing, because staying connected now more important than ever. Then on top of that, a bunch of the carriers are doing stuff to better support everyone. So for example, Verizon is giving everyone an extra 15 gigabytes of data per month, I think for the next 60 days, I think, something like that. Should know that.
Very generous.
It is reading fast. No, they might have just set a date on it, actually. It might not be 60 days. Anyway, they're going to give you 15 gig for the foreseeable future, at least a couple of months. T-Mobile also doing some stuff. They're bumping everyone up to unlimited who wasn't on unlimited. Most of their customers already are, but they're just giving you some version of unlimited data. They also introduced a new $15 plan. It gives you unlimited talk, text, and 2 gig of data. That is not unlimited data, though. It's only 2 gig, but it's $15 a month. AT&T and Cricket jumped on that as well. They're now offering, as of today, a $15 plan, similar deal, unlimited talk, text, 2 gig data. And then for all of their other plans, I should say AT&T prepaid and Cricket wireless, They're also giving everyone else 10 gig of data to use. If you're on an unlimited, that could mean hotspot. If you're not on unlimited, that's just your data bucket. So those things are happening. So as far as your carrier goes, there's probably some sort of extra bonus there that you are entitled to or that they're handing out for now. And all these things have dates on them, but for the most part, it's for the next 2 months. And then that could change from there. YouTube and Netflix are starting to lower resolution on streaming, not necessarily so much in the US. Well, I think YouTube did, right? Didn't YouTube drop to standard definition, just sort of when you load anything, but you can toggle that up if you want. But in Europe, like Netflix and YouTube, and I think there's more, they're all dropping down to standard definition to try to help release relieve the weight of all of our internet connections right now, since we're all on constantly. T-Mobile's offering free YouTube Premium for 2 months as a part of T-Mobile Tuesdays. So if you're a T-Mobile customer, get that. You can get Tidal, either one of their premium tiers, $4 for 4 months if you need a streaming music service. And then, as Tim was talking movies earlier, a whole bunch of movies are just kind of skipping theaters since they're not really open right now and going straight to digital releases. So there's a bunch of movies that were in theaters, like Disney's Onward. Like you can buy that now if you want to ahead of time. That's also coming to Disney Plus soon. So there's a whole bunch of stuff all these companies are doing to kind of, help keep us together, which I do appreciate because most of the time they're out to rob us. So it's good that we're coming together a little bit here.
Yeah.
There's lots of other stuff going on in this sort of area. But those are kind of the big ones just to pay attention to. The big thing again is if you're having trouble paying your bill, just contact whoever it is, whether it's Comcast, your home internet, or Verizon or T-Mobile or AT&T. Just contact them and they will work with you to keep you connected. This is kind of the big takeaway there. Let's before we jump past that though, let's run through some donos that we've had. We just had one from Mystical Melissa. Says for Tim's future trip to the barber.
Thanks, Melissa. You rock.
I think Tim's doing this on purpose, Melissa. I think Tim is doing this on purpose.
I got my little horns going, or I don't know, my little alien antennae. I don't know. I was enjoying keeping the sides low, but yeah, now I can't. Yeah.
I'm going to flash up a couple more of these. Charles, before the show, dropped $10 and says, so glad to see you guys doing a show. Appreciate you, Charles, as always. And then we also had Sarah Washington. Flash this one back up there as well.
Yeah. Streamlabs says that Charles just super chatted like $10 million. So that's cool. I appreciate that, Charles. Thank you.
Sarah with 475 says, stay safe out there, friends. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Streamlabs with the re-thing. Oh my God. Yeah. And Sarah with the 4.75 million.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. I
love seeing that.
Show's over.
Streamlabs struggling just like the rest of us. All right. I guess so. Anyway, thank you guys all for the donations. I don't know if Tim's getting a haircut or not though. So
yeah. Anyway. Melissa says my husband calls my double buns handles. Yep. That's pretty funny. It's nasty. You're a bad girl, but thank you.
All right. So jump into some topics, regular type of stuff or anything else to say there in the world of COVID-19.
Hashtag no refunds, Charles.
A refund of $5 million.
Yeah. You asked, do I have anything to add to the COVID-19 stuff?
Yeah.
No, man, just that life sucks. Just staying on the lookout for toilet paper and or Lysol. I was one of the people who did not run to the grocery store and buy up all the toilet paper. So I'm down to I got like a pack and a half left. So 12 rolls. 12 rolls should be able to, sustain me at least for another month or so, I would think. Yeah. Unless I get a terrible bout of, diarrhea or something from all of the smoked oysters that I eat. But other than that, it should totally be fine.
It's one of those things where I'm waiting to see restock. We got the initial wave of everyone, like you said, that ran and bought everything out. Mm-hmm. And then everyone said, no, you don't have to do that. There's plenty in the supply chain. Well, toilet paper not back, Lysol not back, hand wipes not back. And I know some of those stuff are probably going to medical facilities. Totally get that. But yeah, we're still kind of waiting on the big restock. Every time I order groceries, because I'm scared to go to the grocery store, half the stuff I want is still not there. So, I don't know. Apparently
It's
we're okay.
unfortunate. I hope everyone is just, staying safe. Take those extra precautions. Take the extra time to wash your hands, wipe down your food, or, the packaging of the food. There's a lot of good info out there. Also, a lot of misinformation out there. But at the same time, just stay safe. Listen to your government.
Yeah.
Usually I wouldn't say listen to your government, but I guess now's a pretty good time, I suppose.
I'd say depends on where you are.
It depends on what part of the government
Try not to go too much into that. Just let's everyone stay safe and keep distances from everyone. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah, wipe down your phones. Apple says it's totally cool for you to use a sanitation wipe on your phone now. So, same goes for all those other phones. So, yeah, do that.
Okay. Let's see. So, since we've been last on air, you've reviewed the Galaxy S20. You now have an LG V60. There's OnePlus 8 stuff floating around. There's Pixel 5 rumors and Pixel Buds FCC stuff and a new Android 11 build. And we even saw the Essential Phone 2 and 3. There's been a lot since we've been off air. Do you want to talk about the Galaxy S20 Ultra, aka Tim's perfect phone of all perfect phones? Totally worth every penny, according to I don't know. The haters are mad. The haters are mad at you, I think.
Oh, that's fine. I appreciate the haters. So as my title suggests, for the Galaxy S20 Ultra review, $1,400 of near phone perfection. So of course, near phone perfection. Yeah. It's not the perfect phone, because Samsung did not absolutely kill it in the camera game. The camera has issues. Because I'm on the V60, I haven't yet downloaded and installed the new software update that the unlocked models were getting on T-Mobile. But I will do that, and I'll see if they corrected some of the issues. I was having some very aggressive kind of bokeh going on in the area of focus stuff. So still need to play with that. Other than that, though, the phone's absolutely killer. What are people talking about? The hardware's prime. The specs, it's got everything that you could want in a smartphone besides a headphone jack. Are these just a bunch of pissed off headphone jack people? Whatever to people. It's got the 865, a 6.9 inch Quad HD Plus dynamic AMOLED Infinity O display, 120 hertz refresh rate, 5,000 milliamp hour battery. I mean, the thing is freaking massive. I was getting hours upon hours of screen on time. It's got the space zoom, which totally, it turns everything into an oil painting. Which is cool if you're into Van Gogh and Monet and all those guys and girls. It's got the wireless power share, the fingerprint sensor, stereo. It's got everything. So my point is at least, if it costs $1,400, hey, that's how much it costs. So if you're a Samsung fan and you enjoy One UI and all that stuff, you'll probably enjoy it. As far as Samsung phones go, I don't think it gets any better than this. Of course, we'll see what happens with the Note 20. Boy, that phone will probably be $1,200 to $1,300. It'll just include an S Pen. It'll have there will probably be a 5G model, or all models will just have 5G. I don't know exactly what they're gonna do to not have the Note 20 cost an absolute ton, but if I had to choose, the phone is similar to the Note 10, right? But if I had to choose, I would go S20 Ultra. The phone just feels really good in hand, even considering how large it is. So obviously I had a great time using the phone. Absolutely enjoyed myself. Gaming on it was totally a blast. I downloaded the old Sonic games, plugged in my Stadia controller. I mean, the battery was just lasting. Performance was insane. It's just a really good phone. I don't know why people got all upset at me. Whatever.
It's because the early reviews said there's issues with the camera, and then the battery life isn't the most amazing thing ever, and that was it.
Sure.
That's all people need here. They went, look at that price tag. Now it's time to pile on. Everyone didn't say this is perfect, so we're gonna trash this thing, and it's never gonna be worth it. And anyone who says it's great, we will come for you. And that's what they did to you.
Yeah, and that's totally fine. I'm looking at my camera samples from the review right now, and they look pretty good to me. There's some areas where you see that when I focus on an area, everything else that's not within that pinpoint is sort of out of focus. And so that's that area of focus I'm talking about, that a very aggressive bokeh effect they got going on things, and it almost doesn't look natural. Yeah. So, besides that, though, these pictures are good. The terms of color is good. Contrast pretty darn good. Lighting looks real nice.
Well, see, that was the thing is I don't know that very many people complained about the quality of the actual pictures taken.
Sure.
It was just the autofocus system, which is wonky. Yes, it is wonky. It's fixed now where it's supposed to be. Yeah. So yeah, that was the thing. It wasn't the actual quality of the pictures you took. It was just that the software was slightly buggy and people were like, nah, done. Cancel Samsung and all the S20s. They're just done.
Yeah. And then also, of course, got to talk about 5G. I'm on T-Mobile. Yeah, I know. I keep forgetting about 5G. And of course, like the V60 has 5G too. And I got my own problems with the V60. But so 5G, like it's not quite there yet, at least on T-Mobile, the way T-Mobile deployed it. It's a 600 megahertz signal. So, I mean, I'm not seeing anything greater than 4G LTE speeds. When I am in an area that gets really good signal, for example, there's a university not too far from my house. When I'm on their campus taking pictures or whatever, hanging out with the kids, it's what I do. They don't seem to mind. Anyway, when I'm hanging out, great 5G signal.
There's this old guy running speed tests on campus.
Okay, I look younger than most of the kids on campus, but anyway, I'm getting like 100 megabits per second down, and that's not insane. That's not a gig down or 500 down or anything like that. So I mean, the speeds aren't crazy. Even the ping between me and the server, it's still relatively high. So I'm not seeing anything insane in terms of speed. So I haven't.
Yeah, because the messaging around 5G has just been terrible. The messaging around 5G has been terrible. Like T-Mobile's like, it's nationwide. And yeah, I also have it, and nice. I don't think it's fast at all. In fact, I think my 5G T-Mobile connection is worse than my 4G LTE T-Mobile connection, which is frustrating. So yeah, the messaging there has just been awful.
And that's marketing for you. So
yeah,
I don't believe that consumers should be paying $200 extra for this faux G kind of experience that we got so far, unless you work. See, and now with goddamn coronavirus, if you're not working downtown, like say you got 5G because you're like, oh yeah, I work downtown, I got millimeter wave right by me, it's actually not too bad, I get super fast speeds. Well, now you're stuck at home, no 5G to take advantage of, because 5G and millimeter wave can't penetrate windows. So it's just sort of right now, like, gosh, I wish we would have spent that $1 billion of infrastructure on toilet paper supply chains.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
ventilators. Yeah,
good phone though. Good phone. Great phone. It just seems weird right now to recommend
back to it after the V6. I'm assuming.
Oh God, yeah. Absolutely. And then once the Pixels come, I'll maybe switch off that. But like the S20 Ultra is like my phone right now. So.
I mean, I'm still working. Someday I'll review this thing, the regular S20. I'm the same way. Like this is the phone I'm going to use for the foreseeable future. I love this phone. Maybe I'll call it perfect. You said yours is like almost perfect. Maybe I'll just go S20 perfect.
This is the perfect phone.
Just to really rile them all up. But
yeah, you might break the internet.
Yeah, which should be fine. Somebody needs to today. I really like this phone. I get why you think the Ultra is awesome, because I have like the lesser version and I think it's awesome. So people just got to come around.
Yeah, Ryan says, is Verizon 5G ever coming to Portland? Probably not. We got a lot of people in our local city government. They're like, I don't know if they're the opposite of Ron Swanson or they are Ron Swanson. Like, I don't know. They just got this whole conspiracy thing going that 5G is bad for you and et cetera, et cetera. And then also,
local government is not happy that the FCC loosened the ability for made it easier for carriers to like force 5G into cities, got really mad. And so they started throwing everything out from you just can't do this to it's going to cause cancer. So like, and I don't know if the city of Portland actually believes that, but they kind of threw it out there. Like, you can't do this because it's unhealthy. And yeah. So yeah, Portland, it's probably millimeter wave, probably not for a while.
Maybe not for a while. Charles says, so we still a year or two away from a good 5G phone? No, I wouldn't necessarily say from a good 5G phone. I think the phones are fine, like the S20 Ultra.
Ready.
Like,
yeah,
they are ready. The tech is there. I think just the network has to catch up. And of course, that deployment takes a lot of time and a lot of money. And now everything's on hold. I can't imagine that Verizon, AT&T, T-Mobile, and all these guys are like actively trying to push out more 5G infrastructure in the midst of coronavirus pandemic. So we know that they are. Of course, they have people working on their tower still. We saw that from a lovely Reddit post the other day. I think the guy got like 500 gold upvotes or whatever. But, you know, the guys are out there still working on the towers and making sure that we can even make calls on our phones. So God bless those people who are working on all that stuff. Whoever's keeping the internet up and running right now, like, thank you. Just please, I hope you get all the money in the world. Like, you deserve it. So.
Big Bomb Dono Don just dropped $25, by the way. Says living
Don,
what's left of the dream in Illinois.
What's left of the dream? God, that's depressing, Don.
Hopefully you're doing well, Don. Hopefully the Cheweenie's doing well. It's good to see you again. Thank you for the dono. Much appreciated, sir.
Bless that Cheweenie, Don. Skin and Bone says hate. Sorry, real quick. I just want to say Skin and Bone says hate the camera rattle on the S20. I don't have the S20 on me, but yeah. So the space zoom mechanism.
Oh, you can hear it?
Oh, God, it rattles like crazy. Unlike any phone in the history of phones. But, you know, and that's just how the mechanism works. When space zoom is activated,
rattling, or just when you're using it?
It's the stabilization system within. It's the actual mechanism. But when you're in it, you know, it stops because it activates and it's stabilized. But that's just the way it works. You know, for 100x space zoom, apparently they just have to have a little rattle. So. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I know some people have said like that rattles, like my $1,400 phone shouldn't rattle. It's like, but like it's actually a feature. It's not a bad thing. It's a feature, as Apple would say. Like that's a feature.
Well, and look, they fixed it. There's an update that's fixing it. So all those early complaints, Samsung was like, yeah, we'll fix it. They said right away, we'll fix it. They did, but you know, the damage is done. That's how it works. We see it every year with Google's phones. Google introduces something. People find something to focus on to really hate the shit out of it. And then it just kills everything. I mean, Google, they've had some issues. I'm not saying they're exempt from it, but you know what I mean? People like pile on and then that's just the end. It's just over. It's like that with so many things. A couple of donations. I missed one earlier from Bert. Bert dropped $2, said, hope we all get back to normal soon. With you on that, Bert. Schalker AG just dropped $2. What is that? What's our dollar?
It's Brazilian. Is that Real? What do they got down there? Real.
Schalker, you got to help us. It says hello, watching here in Brazil, though. Appreciate that dono. Sorry, I don't know all my currencies. I'm awful with currencies, actually.
Reais, Brazilian Reais. I think it's Portuguese, I'm pretty sure, but
Thank you for that, though.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Hope y'all are doing okay down in Brazil, man. Like, I feel, and then so we had someone in the chat was in Spain right now. It's like, dude, I know we're all hurting right now. It sucks. Real.
Tough stuff everywhere, but there's certainly some countries that have got it worse at the moment.
Yep.
Anyway, so Tim's Galaxy S20 Ultra review is up on the site. Feel free to read that and you decide if it's the perfect phone or not. My S20 review, I know it should have been up like a week and a half ago as well. It'll probably be up like, you know, Monday or Tuesday or something. Look, things have been weird. We haven't done a show in like a month. It's hard to focus on telling people whether or not they should buy a phone, like writing up an entire review with thousands of words. So apologize. I promise I will get there. But Tim's is there. And the Ultra is kind of the one everyone should be reading about anyway. Yeah, the S20 will be. I do love the phone, though.
He loves the phone.
I'm going to use this phone for a while. And then now it's got that update. So I can't even complain about the autofocus anymore. It's great.
Exactly. Yeah, get on it, man. Been waiting for that review.
I will. So you mentioned it, though, but that update is here. It started rolling out, I think, over the weekend to unlocked units. And also the carrier unit should be getting it, too. I think Verizon posted their change logs. Most people on Unlocked already got it. You and I, because we have T-Mobile SIMs in these things, got it today, 5 or 6 days later, which is ridiculous. Do we want to talk about your question about what makes a phone worth $1,400, or are we already way past and should start hammering through these things?
I mean, let me just see.
I think it's an interesting topic. So
yeah, no, I'm down to do it.
Yeah. So Tim asked after his review, when everyone freaked out, he just asked what makes a phone worth $1,400, just to see if you could get input from people on what would possibly make a phone worth $1,400. I think like the general sense that I got from everyone is nothing.
But that's
no one wants to pay
ridiculous.
that. So
I specifically said, I don't know if everyone reads every word I write, which is totally fine, but I said, I know the quick answer for some is nothing, but let's try to go deeper. You know, like I want to know if a phone, if you were to spend $1,400 on a phone, what does it need to have? But no, everyone just said no phone is worth $1,400. So there you go.
I mean, like, so here's an example of somebody gave though. He said, headphone jack, give me 65 watt charging, reverse charging, wireless charging. We've got 6,000 milliamp hour battery, removable, 5 years of software support,
Jesus,
whatever display size they want, class leading camera, no gimmicks. So I get that, but you're also just talking about a computer at this point, and a computer, you know, is going to cost you that much anyway. So they're already kind of that's tough. I mean, at $1,400, I guess it just needs to feel like it's perfect. And you think that phone is close to it. So I'm going to kind of take your word for it. It just kind of comes down to like your budget. Do you want to pay $1,400? I mean, they threw everything in there. Do you want to? And if you don't want to, then maybe there isn't a $1,400 phone for you. So,
yeah, one person says updates and resale value as good as Apple devices for starters. That's such an interesting point. I like that a lot. So the update thing I get, and like Android updates, you know, it's kind of crappy, the situation. You know, every company's different. I was asked recently how LG does, and as far as I know, LG doesn't update phones anymore. They're just sort of over it. But
if they do, they're a little late. Like
exactly. But resale is huge. We know that devices just drop. You know, I mean, worse than cars, Android phones in particular. You buy a phone and then boom, it's worth next to nothing.
Yeah.
So why Apple devices keep that value? You know, what's the debt? I don't know. I think that's more of like it's kind of just like an
Apple public perception thing. Like I don't really.
Like Apple's more luxury and it kind of holds that value. Like a pair of, you know, Louis Vuitton jeans would, you know, hold value over Levi Strauss jeans, but they're both jeans. They both do the same thing. So
yeah, what's so weird is Apple's devices. So like Apple's and Samsung's devices cost the same, or Samsung's might be more, but the resale value doesn't hold on Samsung's like it does. It is an interesting point, but I don't know how you fix that unless you create this image that Samsung is as premium and somehow should hold the value as Apple's phones do. And I have no idea how you fix that in the minds of people, because people just obviously don't generally believe that they should be worth that much. So, I mean, like I'm on Swappa right now. A Galaxy S20, the regular one, is already available for like $625. Like if you were reselling an iPhone, right, like a month after it was released, you'd still fetch full price, wouldn't you? Almost, isn't that
just
kind
about?
Of the deal?
I would assume,
So I have no idea how you fix that. As Nick says, it's a perceived market value. Yeah, I don't know how you change that. Yeah, it's not my expertise, but so I don't know what makes it worth $1,400.
A lot of people are saying if you could have sex with the phone, they would make it $1,400.
You know, it might.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to spend that much like to have it anyway. But yeah. So $1,400 for one of arguably, you know, the best phones you could buy. Totally up to you. It doesn't fold in half. But then again, you know, there's compromises if you buy one of those foldable phones. Like the Galaxy Z Flip costs $20 less than an S20 Ultra, but there's tons of compromise. It doesn't have nearly as much good stuff as the S20 Ultra. So it really just depends on what you yourself value as a buyer. So
a lot of people saying software support. I don't know that I think that would change the perceived value of something, although it would be nice if they did provide extra support. And maybe it does then, because maybe then you buy a phone that, you know, but I guess like, although when I think about that, do most consumers care that their phone gets like 4 or 5 years of updates? I don't know a bunch of iPhone folks that run around bragging to me that their 4-year-old iPhone gets updates still. So you guys could tell me on that one. So I don't know. Maybe that is what would do it. If they said, we're going to do 4 years of updates for the Galaxy S20 Ultra, 4 years of version updates, that is. Because security updates, I wrote this up recently. Samsung's one of the best. They update their phones longer than Google does for security updates. Like some of the phones, I think I just looked in the S6 and S7, or S7 at least, is still getting updates. That's 4 generations ago. It's still getting quarterly, not monthly. But so they're in terms of security updates, Samsung is doing it better than anyone. They're just not doing the version updates past 2 of them. So
I know what would be totally sweet. Let's say Samsung was able to license or partner with Apple to bring iMessage to Android exclusively for like Samsung devices. That could make a phone worth $1,400, dude.
Do you think Tim Cook hates Samsung as much as Steve Jobs, or do you think he's like that was,
or just Android in general, or
yeah? But you know, they sued Samsung about 17,000 times, and he kind of was there to see through some of those lawsuits. So,
but it's business, and if Apple's like, hey, if we could make a crap ton of money from Samsung,
billions from Samsung,
yeah, like why not? I mean, and you know what? Ooh, they're giving people in the world like a better messaging service. Like that's the worst possible thing they could ever do. Like, come on, man. Like, why can't we all get some iMessage? I just want to try being a blue bubble for once in my life. I want to know what that feels like to be able to tap on a message and for that to like a message from someone else. Like, how hard is that? When I'm in an SMS,
you're supposedly going to be able to do that on Google Messages pretty soon.
Oh, it's not the same. It's not the same. When I'm in a chat thread with a bunch of Apple people and I see, oh, blank liked a message from blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, this is like so janky. It's 2020 and this is happening. Sucks. So maybe it's a Google Voice thing still. I don't know.
Yeah, because you and I are on Google Voice, so we don't get any support. We don't get any new features ever. They just reskin the app every year, but it's the same janky app underneath. Just a coat of paint.
Hate my life. Anyway.
All right, let's talk V60 real quick. You have an LG V60. Well, LG announced the V60. It is an $800 starting price phone. Most places are selling it for like $900 or $950 though, because it comes with a dual screen thingy. It has most of the spec. I guess the only spec it's really missing is it doesn't have a quad HD display. It's full HD, 1080p, 60 hertz, no 90, no 120. Right? There's no 90 hertz on there. No.
Yeah, no, there's nothing. So what's funny is I went to a press briefing for this device and I was getting back. I was talking to Kellen about it and he's like, so like, what's the selling point here? What's the special feature? And I was like, oh no, like there is none. It doesn't have one. It's got 5G. It's got 5G and a dual screen. I've actually got the dual screen. I haven't even used the dual screen, dude.
Because it makes the thing a tank of a phone.
Yeah, like I'm not putting this thing in my pocket. You kidding me?
Okay, so specs though, let me run this down, then we'll talk again about like what's the selling point. So 6.8-inch full HD, 60 hertz, so not 90, not 120. Snapdragon 865, so that's the newest. 8 gig RAM, 120 gig storage, 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Does have a headphone jack with the quad DAC, dual rear camera, so 64 and 13 megapixels. How many cameras on the front? Just one.
Just one.
It has a teardrop notch, right? So no hole punch or anything like that. It does have 5G. And then, it has access to the second screen, which you have to put into a giant case that adds a lot of thickness. So, Tim got back and I said, okay, so what's the feature, right? Like Samsung's new phones, not to go back to them, but 120 hertz display, like that's a big thing. Space zoom, right? Samsung has the sort of pitch down. They go, our screens are better. Our cameras do crazy things you've never seen before. And you can buy it already. We've spec'd it out completely. We didn't leave anything out except the headphone jack. So for the V60, that's why I said to you, what's the thing? And you were like,
no thing.
I don't know. Because the dual screen they've had on, this is the third phone, I think, with the dual screen. Because didn't the V50 have it? I think the V50 had it, which no one remembers.
Okay, well then it's the 3 because then the G8X
and then the G8X and then now this one. So that's not a new concept. Nope. Their display tech is technically like a generation behind now because they didn't even go 90 hertz. So they didn't up the refresh rate. Dual camera. And look, we don't necessarily need a super 100x zoom telephoto or whatever on here, but no telephoto, just standard and ultra wide angle. And then it's LG's software. I guess I don't know. I still do not know what the big pitch is. Like how are you selling me the V60?
Well, it's got 5G still. So LG, I mean, basically, they said straight up, they're like, "Yo, we just need a phone that's got 5G. That's what the carriers are asking for, and this is what we're gonna provide. You may see stuff, later down in the year from us, and everything now again, gosh darn coronavirus, but they just needed a 5G phone. So I think they just kind of, I wouldn't say they threw this one together, but like, I mean, the hardware here. Let me bring in the zoom a bit here. Oops. So, I mean, look at these bezels. Look
Kinda
at these.
thick. You're right. I didn't even notice that.
It's so thick, man. And it's got a freaking camera cutout. Like, it's not that. The hardware is just not impressive.
The back
whatsoever.
looks like what? The Note 9? Was it the Note 9 that looked like that on the back, I think?
Yeah.
I know there will be some people that'll argue, well, it's the only one with a headphone jack, Helen. It has a quad DAC. So audiophiles will love this. Your camera's focused on your mic, by the way.
Oh, sorry.
They'll say, it's the only one with a headphone jack, Helen. It's got the quad DAC. And I'm going to go, their sales have plummeted and they've been doing quad DACs forever. No one is buying the LG phones because of quad DACs, at least not in numbers they need for these phones to be successful. So while cool, I'm glad there's a headphone jack and a quad DAC for the select small tiny ass group that wants that. That's great. It doesn't push it to anyone else. Again, I'm a phone guy. I look at all these and go, what's the deal? Why would I want this? And when I look at that phone, I go, what do I want from that phone? I've never touched it, but they're not doing a good job with the messaging because there's not even a reason for me to touch that. And this is my job. Is kind of where I'm going here.
Yeah, well, you got there. No, I mean, it's coming from the S20 Ultra that has everything. I mean, this phone
too.
It just sort of doesn't quite do it. I already got my working title for the review. It's just like LG V60 5G Thin Q review : like it's just it's and yeah, I mean, it's got a few saving graces. It's got the 5,000 milliamp hour battery. So if you don't want to spend $1,400, still have a huge battery, you got that. It's got the quad DAC, so LG's still taking that stuff seriously. Problem is that the audio thing is like sort of a niche and like almost gimmicky now. It's kind of like obviously these audio people are not keeping your phone company afloat. No. We've seen their just go down and down and down. Yes. So LG Mobile needs a winner, and I just don't think that people who own headphones are going to like save them.
No.
Yeah, we need them to bring more of like their LG display tech into this thing and all that. Manual modes are cool. So the camera, from what I can tell so far, is great. It does have the manual mode for both that and the video. They've got cute little software tricks that you can do for that in like the Cine shot and all this stuff still. I mean, so yeah, the camera's fine. It's got all the modes you need, which is great. But like,
okay, just to pause for a second there. Manual modes. When was the last time you went into a manual camera mode? I know you like to take the long exposure shots every once in a while.
Sure.
You do it like 3 times a year. I mean, I don't know, once a month, maybe.
It would be nice. Like I wish Android was more of like this kind of like, hey, let's get together and share ideas thing, because on the Pixel, like I don't really need a manual mode because I just put on night sight and it does all the work for me. But like, so when I'm not using the Pixel and I want to take a picture of stars, I'm like, oh God, I wish I had the Pixel, because no night mode is anything like what the night sight can do. So, yeah, I mean, I don't go into the manual mode ever just to take regular pictures unless I need to adjust shutter speed. But other than that,
but what I'm saying is that's another one. Well, so like Gary the Fireman just threw that out. He's like, that has manual camera controls. And while I get that they were one of the first to do that and do it in video, I just wonder, like the DAC, are people buying it because it has manual video controls? Like, are there a bunch of video producers across the globe that are like, well, I'm only buying LG because I get manual? No, they're still buying iPhones and Samsung phones and just being like, yeah, the video is good enough. And if I want to shoot in manual, I'm going to use my good camera, like my real camera. I don't know. I guess like, I feel like the things they focus on, while cool and complementary to a phone, I just don't know that they're the selling features. And I feel like that's kind of where they've been for a long time.
Yeah, and the software is still just not great. LG
So,
said that they were doing like a big kind of redesign or whatever, and I think we all thought it would be sort of on the level of One UI and what Samsung did. Nah, like this is the
so this
same
phone does have the
software.
new, yeah. Okay.
And it's changed up a little bit. Like it's got pretty colors and whatnot. So I'm not even gonna mess with the focus again, but
Yeah.
the software it feels smooth enough, but again, like coming from a S20 Ultra, like everything just feels slow. It's the 120 hertz. It's going back to this 60 hertz, man.
Yeah,
Everything
probably.
feels like
Yeah.
super kind of jankified. So
It's
I've been
tough.
spoiled, and that's a problem. Because me spoiled, bad thing. I appreciate that, like Gary. And I feel bad for LG fans, man, because like LG fans want their phones to like be winners.
Yeah.
But it's just like not happening when LG just keeps falling further and further behind these other OEMs that are like pumping out good devices.
Yeah.
LG's still looking for a winner. I think for like the past 3 years, I've written the same thing. Like LG needs a winner. And like
I think you have actually, yeah.
yeah, but they have their appliance teams and their TV teams and these other businesses that are keeping LG Mobile kind of afloat. They're doing dancing or musical chairs with the president of the mobile business. I mean, I keep saying like I'll do it, and I'll do it for like a big pay cut. Like I'm sure those guys make 6 figures, solid 6 figures.
They make a lot. Yeah.
I'll do it for like a 250,000 flat fee, and I'll fix your business. I can do this for you. And like that, I would do that for anybody, but I think I could really do it for LG. So if they're listening, feel free to hit me up for the realsies. But yeah,
I'd love it if they had a winner.
Yeah. Charles asked, what was their last winner? Would you say the Flex? I don't know if I'd say the G Flex was a winner.
Kind of a cool concept. Yeah.
Very cool concept. People were talking about it. It got the YouTube views, right? But I don't necessarily say like a good phone is what's viral on YouTube.
G3?
Yeah, the G3 was good. The G2 was awesome.
G2 was great.
I mean, G4 is where it started going down real bad because they started using that faux leather on the back. And this is around the same time, I believe, when Motorola was doing their leather too. So LG was like, oh, we could do that too. Yeah. Except they had like this super cheap plastic leather that would deteriorate. Like the Horween straight out of Chicago and those Motorola phones was not doing that. So those V series phones, the V20, that was extremely popular.
I forget about the V. We're talking about the V series.
Exactly.
I'm like, the G. Yeah, that's right. Some of the early V series phones were really good. I did.
Yeah. So the Stuff and Things phones, those original Stuff and Things phones, those were popular. They were good phones. Mm-hmm. But now it's just more of the same. Like LG needs to evolve. We need to get past this. Why is it that they did the G5?
The full reinvention here.
We need the full
reinvention here.
Exactly. Yeah. They tried it with the module stuff, right? And they knew instantly that it wasn't working, so they just stopped. Why can they see that this stuff, it's just so plain Jane that it's just not exciting whatsoever? Why can't we change it up a bit? Why can't we do something? So
yeah, Zach says his V30 is great. Yeah, the V30. I remember the V30 was a great phone. So sorry, I didn't mean to skip that one. So yeah, probably the V30 was probably the last one. I mean, the V40 and V50 were just kind of like mush. Oh, there was a V35 in there. None of it even makes sense anymore.
Yeah,
I wish they would have another winner, but
completely. So if anyone is curious, V60 review will be up next week. It won't be a regular review just because I'm not able to get outside and sort of like, use a phone how I normally would. However, I will say I did take my first kind of like real battery test yesterday. I was 1 day, 13 hours off of the charger. So day and a half. Yeah. 8 hours of screen on time. 38 hours of total usage, apparently. Yeah, 8 hours of screen on time and 2 days of battery life.
It's gonna be the battery king. There's the cell right there. It's gonna be the battery king.
Exactly.
That'll be the cell.
Battery king. And then if you add the dual screen with it, you're tanking it.
So. Interested to hear what you say about that dual screen. If
I use it. Exactly. I just need to watch some videos on it, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what to do with it. I don't multitask.
I don't know what people do with it. Some people are playing games because you can turn it into a controller on one screen.
That's terrible. Yeah, I hate on-screen controls like that. Like virtual 100%. Controls on the screen. I hate it. So
yeah, So I don't know what else you're going to use it for.
Maybe I'll try to use it. I'd rather just plug in my Stadia controller and just use it, and it's just native.
Actual
it feels
controller.
good. Yeah.
Just use it to prop up. I have no idea.
Yeah, maybe just use it as a freaking $100 just a little prop.
Yeah.
That's funny. Anyway.
All right, let's talk OnePlus 8 for a minute. So OnePlus has been teasing that a new phone is coming. And then just as they mentioned that, well, so first of all, they announced a new logo and some new colors and a new font and stuff like that. It's mostly the same, slightly different font, and they added a blue color that they can use here and there. So they did that. But just as they started teasing that like a new phone is coming and that people could sign up to be an early reviewer of it, the leaks started flooding. So we got what we believe are press renders and also a set of specs for the OnePlus 8 and a OnePlus 8 Pro. So what were the pictures this week were the Pro, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So Pro in this really cool, what color would you call that?
I called it like a matcha green.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Like a matcha green. I hope they release in this color. This color would be dope.
That's dope.
Very much a OnePlus phone. Sort of a triple camera thing down the middle with maybe another separate, maybe time of flight sensor or something off to the side, flash, all that on the back. It looks very OnePlus-y. We still have the switch, the mute switch thing, the alert slider. And then instead of a pop-up camera like we had with the 7 Pro, hole punch display, which look, I'm totally fine. Although as cool as like the seeing of a camera pop up and down, as cool as that is, I mean, you were just asking for failure. I'm kind of glad they're moving away from that. A hole punch camera is totally fine. But design wise, it's very OnePlus-y. It'll look normal. As far as specs go, we're spec'd out here. OnePlus 8, which apparently will be a slightly lower model, full HD, 6.5 inch display, 90 hertz refresh rate, all the other goods in there. OnePlus 8 Pro, 6.7 inch quad HD, 120 hertz.
Yeah, baby.
All the other goods in there. They both have Snapdragon 65 or 865s, 5G. The camera setups, we'll see battery 4,500 milliamp hour on the OnePlus 8 Pro, which is a pretty decent size. Supposedly IP68 water and dust resistance. Don't know that I believe that, but yeah, I think spec wise that sounds great. Pictures of this phone looks really nice. It looks like another solid OnePlus phone. In possibly bigger news, they announced today that they will soon put always on display software in their phones. So we might finally have always on display. I'm excited for another OnePlus phone.
I know.
Although I'm enjoying my S20, but this could be great. Again, it always comes down with them to their cameras and whether or not they can keep up. Samsung's killing it. We know Google will have a good camera in their 4A, so a cheap ass phone. So yeah, OnePlus, let's see what you can do. I'll be interested to see what this camera setup really is and if there's anything special going on there. I mean, the cameras are getting better. They're just, still a step behind.
Yeah, this phone really gives off sort of like a Huawei hardware design feel to me. Which is totally fine. Huawei makes fine looking hardware, but I kind of appreciated, I guess maybe back in the day, OnePlus sort of made unique looking devices. You're like, oh yeah, like that's a OnePlus phone. This phone, it gives off a OnePlus 7 Pro vibe, which is totally cool and all that. But I guess I was just hoping for something a little different, like the camera cutout. I wouldn't have minded if we stuck with the pop out cam. I thought it was cool. I thought it was just nifty. Cool, yeah. It was a little party trick kind of thing. You could crack a beer with it and stuff. Like,
that's cool. Right. You could. It also gives that fully clean display look, which you don't see very often.
You don't. And yeah,
I'm with you. These are probably just much easier to manufacture.
Oh, I'm sure.
If that'll help keep those 5G prices down, I am all for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, we don't know when that's coming. What was the last rumor? Hopefully. April.
Yeah, April.
So that's not very far away. It's March 27th.
Yeah, it's just, this whole gosh darn everything goes back to coronavirus. Usually there's press events and all that stuff. Like there's not going to be anything like that. This is just going to be, here's the phone, press release, couple videos, do with it what you will. Like, I don't know. I kind of like the fanfare.
I'm so excited about it because
I know you are, as you're old.
I'm antisocial and old, and so I think press events are a waste of time and awful, and I can't stand any part of them. That said, as someone who's been pro, let's get rid of the stupid press event thing for a while, I get to finally see if that's a good idea or not. Because this year, everyone's just going to not have press events. They're going to just hand stuff to press behind the scenes before they announce it probably, and then everyone will post their stuff and all that stuff, and no one will have left their house. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it's the most successful thing ever. And so then next year, when everything's back to normal, they just won't have stupid press events anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's not bad. Pricing.
Then maybe we'll do like CES online and things like that. And that'll be really great.
That'd be sweet. Greg says pricing will be key on this release. Absolutely, 100%. I mean, how is OnePlus going to make almost 7-inch freaking quad HD plus Super AMOLED 120 hertz 5G
$1,100?
It's going to be an expensive one, man.
I mean, what's the 7T Pro 5G on T-Mobile? Isn't it 900?
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's 900.
What, that McLaren one?
Yeah. I think it's 900.
Checking T-Mobile.
So with this phone now having the latest Snapdragon, better display, another camera, wireless charging. Isn't there a rumor that has wireless charging?
Yeah.
We're talking, I bet at least $1,100.
That sucks.
You want to pay that for a OnePlus phone?
Some
I don't know
people
that a lot of people do.
Probably would. I mean,
Again, Tim, what makes an $1,100 phone worth $1,100, right?
I'm just saying this better piss off a lot of Reddit people, because I know on Reddit and all these forums, they love OnePlus because they give you the best phones for the cheapest prices. Well, like, where you at now, dude? Like, we've reached critical mass. OnePlus is now charging the regular smartphone prices, but all in all, how much do you think this will be one time?
1,100.
Okay, I think that's a little steep.
The 8 Pro, I think 1,100.
I think that's a little steep for what it is. I do think that, let's say, because the V60, right? $800, $900 with the dual screen.
Timestamp it. Tim's price, OnePlus 8 Pro is?
I'm going to say $949 starting price.
Okay. $50 more. That's not, it could be.
I think they're going to find a way to do it. I feel like they got to. I mean, does OnePlus really take a chance and say, here's our first $1,000 plus phone? Like, I don't know.
They could go $999 or something like that, but I bet it's $1,100. Yeah. See, so
David's on that good stuff and saying it's going to be $799. I don't know, man.
Not for the Pro. Maybe the 8?
Yeah, maybe the 8. Yeah.
Jay Riswella says 1,100 Pro, 900 regular. See, I'm there with him. I bet because of the stupid 5G, I bet it'll be close to that. Maybe you get $800 for the regular 8 and the Pro 1,000. I'm still thinking like 11. It's gonna be awful.
Thankfully, most Americans are getting maybe around a $1,200 check in Trump bucks, and we'll be able to spend all that money on new OnePlus devices.
On OnePlus phones.
Yeah.
Yeah, David says, I don't know if you'll get a ton of backlash for a grant. Yeah, they will. That's the thing, is they've creeped so high. And I think everyone overlooked the McLaren one because it was 900 and because it kind of came after the fact and it was only on T-Mobile and no one really cared. I don't see how they price it under $1,000.
And I mean, everything is being affected markets. So are people even going to be spending a ton of money on smartphones right now? Like, a smartphone is not a new smartphone. If you already got one, it's not a necessary purchase right now. I feel like people are trying to be a bit smarter with their money, their savings, and they're making essential. Finally, Americans are waking up. I've been preaching this forever, but yeah, I mean, now is probably not the best time to be spending that much money on a smartphone.
It's going to be an awful year for every single company who's trying to sell something.
Yeah.
It's just going to be awful. It's going to be awful for everyone doing everything, but no one's selling the phones. I thought, like, the Samsung numbers people keep pushing out.
Yeah. Real quickly to Alex Chen in the chat. Probably one of the more annoying people in the world right now. We've got a whole video of tips and tricks for the Galaxy S20. Feel free to go watch that if you're looking for S20 coverage. Thank you. Goodbye.
Yeah. Should have done a longer ban than that. All right.
It's like maybe a timeout will teach him a lesson. I don't know. We'll see. Anyway.
Chill, spam guy in the chat. Just chill. We're good. We see you.
Yeah. Don't worry about it, man. We're getting to you.
We see you.
Anyway.
All right. Anyway, let's move on to Google. So Google stuff.
Okay.
Number of things. So the biggest thing is, it's been a week or so now. Pixel 5, we think might not run Qualcomm's 865. It might instead run Qualcomm's 765G, which is the other 5G chip for 2020. It's not really mid-range, but it's also not top tier. It's kind of in between there. Integrated 5G, unlike the 865. That means not the best of the best in the Pixel 5. And so you might get a Pixel 4a with not that same chip, a 730, so a 4G phone, and then this thing not the top tier of all the top tier. Yeah, let's talk about that. That pisses you off that it won't have the best processor available on the planet?
Oh yeah,
Android phones, I should say.
Yeah, maybe I shouldn't say piss me off, but it's just disappointing. Like I don't get what Google is doing right now, and I haven't gotten what Google's been trying to do.
This is what you wanted them to do.
Yeah, but not like this. I don't know. Will the price even reflect this though? Like Google has this way of like not giving you the best, but still charging you big prices for it. So $799, as Jay in the chat says, yeah, man, $799 is still too much, at least from what I think we've heard so far. Yeah. I want Google can make a premium phone. We know they can. They've done it before. Why? Like the Pixel 2 XL, still like probably one of the best phones ever. It's a really good phone.
Yeah, I like that phone.
And it's still lasting people out there. I know plenty of people who still got the 2 XL. So why can't we just keep making really good phones that, cost a lot of money? Like, why are we like cutting these corners? Why are we spending resources on things like Project Soli? That's because they keep putting in stupid things, like gimmicky little things that are nonsense.
Correct.
I know we had to wait for an entire new version of Android to get a new gesture for Soli. Oh God. Anyway, dude, like
to be able to do this.
Exactly. These people don't listen to me, man. I'm telling you. We wrote up a whole thing on feature suggestions of what you could do with Soli. If you're inside of Chrome, maybe
I just want to do baby violin all the time.
Yeah, whatever happened to baby violin? Exactly. Yeah. Gosh, man. So and everyone agrees. I haven't seen anyone that says, "Oh no, Soli, like you're wrong about Soli, dude." Like no one ever said.
People are starting to come around, I think, and I don't really know why, but I've started to see like some posts here and there on Reddit, like Soli's actually great, and I just go, I can't read this.
So Sean says because not everyone can afford the premium, so that's why there's the A line.
Yeah,
if you can't afford the premium, just stick with the A because those phones are very good, and we know that. So Google can make a killer, kind of like a budget or an inexpensive device. I don't like calling it a budget phone just because it's still, pretty expensive. It's a few $100, so not everyone's got that laying around. So the fact is, Google's got a budget and less expensive device, and they need a premium phone for us premium folk who want like the best of everything. And the Pixel 4 XL was not the best of everything. Oh, wow, they gave us the bump to 6 gigs of RAM. This is what we've been waiting for. Meanwhile, S20 Ultra just walks over with 12 gigs of RAM, just takes a dump on it. I don't know, man. Like I just want Google to make a killer phone again, and because I know it's possible. They just keep doing these weird little things, these little compromises that just kind of irk me. So, it's stupid.
Bad news, Brown, with the Google avatar says, Tim, just admit it. You don't like Google and you hate their phones.
Oh, that is just so untrue. It
is untrue.
I love Pixel phones and I love Google. Every time someone says, "Oh, Google has too much power," they're spying on you. I'm like, sign me up, dude. Like, if it makes my life easier, like Google can have all my information. I love Google. I just wish they'd make a better phone here and there. That's all.
See, I think I'm fine with it. So I kind of made the argument that sure, just get weird. Let's put a different processor. Let's do something different because we're Pixel 1, 2, 3, 4 with an A in there, and none of them were successful. Maybe the Pixel 2 was semi-successful. The 3A maybe out of the gate was semi-successful too. 4 absolute disaster flop of the century for Google, I think. And the 3 they admitted didn't sell well either. So the first one, whatever. 2, I think was okay. 3 didn't sell. 4 flop. So at this point, you're 4 flagship versions into your phone line. You either give up, which I don't think they can do, or you just change it up. So I just see this as possibly them just changing it up. And I don't know how early they made the decision to go 765G versus 865 into the process. Like, I don't know if they made that decision 4 months ago or they had some roadmap a year ago and they made this before they knew the Pixel 4 was going to flop. I have no idea. But give us the camera. You could still put a great camera behind a 765. It'll handle a great camera. You have the integrated 5G, so battery might be better than an 865. It's still powerful enough to handle most, especially if Google kind of gets in there and, fine tunes their little Android experience, which sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Keep the price down under. Maybe you slide into, because look, I just said I think OnePlus is going to exit the, hey, we're that middle guy where we'll give you the premium phone at a decent price. I think OnePlus is going to jump beyond that foolishly. Google, just with their 765, they just slide in there, Tim. They just slide in and go, oh, you don't want to spend $1,000? Get this excellent leading best in class camera for $799. We are here. It could be brilliant. Google's not often always brilliant. So don't expect that. I'm just saying this could be the move. This could be the play.
This could be, and I appreciate your optimism. Finally, a little bit of optimism from Kellen. This might be the first time in a few years.
Yeah, probably.
I'm with you. I'm down to just see what comes. I do want to say, Bad News Brown says, he said earlier, anyone. Oh yeah. No. What did he say? He said, anyone judging, there we go. Pixel 4 XL is a good phone. People who says it's not, don't have it. Well, I mean, I have it. It was my daily driver until the S20 Ultra came. The phone, like I said, just has a few compromises. The battery life is not great. And they just sort of, I felt like, cut a few corners. I mean, the hardware is good. The overall experience is fantastic. Please don't get me wrong on that. I'm just saying, like, it could have been better. And no, I don't think we're judging a phone just primarily on how well it sells or anything like that. I think we're just trying to get the whole picture going of maybe what the general problem with the 4XL and the 4 was. The 4 was just a bad phone because
the 4
battery
is bad.
It's a bad phone. I mean, the battery lasted no time at all. So
like
it had some
Thunderbolt
issues.
level battery. Yeah.
Yeah. And if anyone's got optimism, besides Kellen, for the upcoming Pixel 5 and 5XL, that's me. I want it to be a good phone. I got faith that Google can figure it out, but they just, for the past few years, they haven't quite got it. Like the 3XL with that freaking notch, and then the 4 with, I mean, even the 4XL doesn't have great battery life and, these other little issues here and there. So we'll see what happens. I just, I'm not totally convinced that Google can pull it out. And they need a winner just like LG does, man. I mean,
they do. It's been a rough couple of phone years for Google.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens with the 4A. It could be massively successful for all we know.
I hope
the 3A was a great line.
And because the 3A was it seemed widely adopted, like that was like Reddit's baby for a little bit. They were just absolutely loving the 3A. Every day there was like, I got the 3A, and this is like, these plastic phones are awesome. Exactly. So
I wrote like 6 pieces about how great plastic phones were in like a month span. It was embarrassing, but yeah.
Exactly. So we know Google can make some good plastic phones. So I'm excited, and that's why I said, hey Google, maybe you should just stick to mid-range phones. Yeah. The problem is that my beef is that this Pixel 5, dude, ain't gonna be mid-range. No, they're going to market as a high-end phone, but it's not gonna come with an 865.
It's kind of like triggers. You remember when they bought Motorola and they created the original Moto X. They did this. They put like an older Snapdragon garbage, like Snapdragon S4 or whatever it was, and everyone else was on something else better. And they said, it's okay because we totally put in this co-processor and we made it super efficient. And then they charged premium price. Remember that? The original Moto X, it had that garbage old processor, and they were like, no, it's fine. We just did all this extra work you won't even notice. And while for the most part it was, that also didn't help with the camera, which was one of the worst cameras in any phone ever, which we still gave a pass to. Yeah. But that's the thing, is they're going to do that. They're going to put this lower processor and go, it's fine because it's got Google performance. Like they'll come up with some dumb name, right? It's got Google performance. And that just means that processor doesn't matter. And they'll dance around and they won't mention the processor. And they'll say, look how awesome the camera is. And then they'll say, look at this Soli stuff. And they'll dance around that. And then they'll say $9.99. And then the press is just going to go boom and just hammer them, just dump on them. And it'll flop again. I hope I'm wrong there. I hope they go, no, we're the middle guy, $7.99 for this. It's going to be great. You'll get much more than those other phones, or about the same as those other phones, and spend $400 less. But yeah, they'll probably screw it up. All right, I talked myself out of it.
There you go.
Damn. That sucks.
Anyway, then this show's getting a little long, guys. Sorry.
We're only an hour in, right?
Yeah, hour 7. Not bad. We're close.
Right, we'll actually hammer through these. Yeah. So the other thing about Google, Pixel Buds stopped to the FCC this week. Tough to say what that actually means. Google often pushes their products through the FCC weeks, if not months, before they launch them. So I know we were told Pixel Buds spring. Are we in spring? It's technically spring. Yeah, we're in spring. It could be any day. It could be May for all I know. So they're at the FCC. That's good. Could be launching next. We're still talking $180 true wireless buds. So that should be interesting. Android 11 developer preview 2 dropped last week, last 9 days ago now. Yeah. So beginning of last week or middle of last week. Developer preview 2, it's still not beta. So to flash it, you have to kind of manually put in a little bit of work there. So you can't just sign up for the Android beta. It's fine. It's still kind of janky, although this one feels a lot better than the first preview. That first preview was pretty rough. As far as new stuff, not a lot. It's mostly behind the scenes developer crap. They did add, it's kind of funny how you made the joke about it took an Android 11 developer preview for us to get a new gesture. Well, it also took a developer preview for the Pixel 4 to require your eyes to be open during face unlock, which they said was coming a while ago. I'm assuming that'll come in probably this coming month's normal Android 10 security update, but it's just so weird that it first shows up in these developer previews. So anyway, that's there. There's a new notification history section, which is actually kind of nice if you want to go back and see every single notification that ever popped up on your phone, broken down by day and app and all of that stuff. It's actually kind of cool. And then there's also what we believe to be a new quick control section coming on the power menu, where you can press the power menu and you could then control your smart home, which could be cool. I don't know. It's so early in this Android 11 thing, it's hard to get really excited about it. The first beta will be here May. Right? We still have one more developer preview, I think.
It's supposed to be around I.O. time, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. So no I.O. That I didn't mention this, but that's officially all canceled at this point. I think on the last show, no, I don't even think it was on the last show. Anyway, they kind of were delaying all of it and said, we'll probably try to do something online, possibly still have some version of I.O. Last week, they just canceled all of it. There is no I.O. at all. They might release some news about something, but for the most part, I.O. is just dead.
So depressing.
Yeah. All right. Finally, Essential phone news. This is so random. You guys all know Essential is dead. The company's gone. It's fine. They're gone. And we never got an Essential phone 2. We're not going to get the Project Gem thing. You know, the story around Andy Rubin makes it hard to really give much of an S about any of this stuff anymore. That said, there was a time before we knew how awful the man was, that we wanted an Essential phone 2 really badly. And one of their engineers or designers posted a bunch of pictures of some of the stuff they had worked on for years. And he showed us what the Essential phone 2 would have looked like. And it basically would have looked like an Essential phone. They just probably would have fixed some stuff. And he said it was basically close to launching, and then Rubin probably cut it at the last minute because they were going to release that stupid Home Hub, which I think there was a report at the time that said that. So that happened. He also showed what would have been an Essential phone 3, which, was looking cool. And, there's not really much else to say. And then he pulled all this stuff down. He posted it to his personal blog, and then he pulled it all. And I don't really know why. Maybe somebody told him you can't do this. It's all supposed to be private. I'm not really sure.
Yeah. This company doesn't exist anymore. You shouldn't do that.
It was very weird. Yeah, I don't know if it's because the company was still trying to like sell off anything that they had worked on and try to make some money from it. And one of the things was some of their phone stuff. I'm not sure because he did have a whole bunch of other stuff still posted on, like some Project Gem stuff and some other things. I just looked right now, and even that's all passworded now. So anyway, there was an Essential Phone 2 that almost released, and then Ruben cut it, and then they were working on a 3 as well as that Gem thing, and it's all gone now.
Womp womp.
All right.
Sorry, Essential fans.
Are we ready? Oh, you were quick with the lights this time. You've been preparing to just flip the switch on the lights.
I'm ready to rock, man.
It's trivia time. DL Show trivia time. Again, at the end of every show, after we run through topics, which, sorry, that was a long list. We've been off the air for about a month. We do trivia. So we have 5 questions. We put each question up on the screen. You can read it. Tim will also read it aloud to you in case you're one of those drop into 144p or audio only to get that really crisp connection to us. Because what you have to do is answer in the YouTube chat as quickly as you can. And if you're right, we will call out your name and you win a prize. And this week you win $10 of Google Play credit. So $10 of Google Play credit to every single winner. So you can go buy all the stuff as you sit at home. So again, question up. Tim reads it. You answer. You could win. Super simple.
Wow. All right.
And I'm kind of redoing this over and over because I like the longtime listeners this is where they start refreshing to get the speediest of all the speedy connections.
You want that low latency.
Yeah, that low latency.
That low.
You want that
Excellent.
low latency.
Well, thank you everyone for joining us on another beautiful edition of Android Trivia. I am your host, Tim. And let's get a crack in here with question number 1, please.
Question number 1 is up now. Now.
All right. OnePlus is a subsidiary to what Chinese OEM? Again, OnePlus is a subsidiary to what Chinese OEM?
Do they ever admit to this? It's like general knowledge, but I feel like they don't ever.
Yeah, I feel like they don't talk about it much. I'm seeing
Perella?
William Perella with the correct answer of Oppo. William Perella. Oppo.
William Perella.
Congratulations. William Perella. $10 of Google Play credit coming at you.
Now, there's some people putting BBK in there, which is like actually, I think, the giant conglomerate that owns all of them.
Owns Oppo as well.
Yeah, that owns Oppo as well. It's like all the people that work at OnePlus were at Oppo, I believe, but I think the major company is actually BBK.
Sure, but OnePlus is a subsidiary of Oppo.
Are they?
You know what I'm saying?
Like, are they, or was it just people working there?
I don't think BBK is sure, in a roundabout way, BBK, I think, might be right. But I think Oppo is the correct answer. So.
That's what Wikipedia says, Oppo.
Oh, Wikipedia says it? Oh, well, then that's got to be right.
Wikipedia says Oppo. That's tough. That's tough.
It's a really good. I like that someone brought that. Who was the first person to say BBK? I'll give them 10 too.
Was it
Zachary Webb?
Yeah, Zach Webb.
All right, Zachary Webb, congratulations. You get $10 of Google Play credit along with William Perella.
All right. It's a double winner.
I like that. I like double winners.
Perfect.
All right. Everyone's
Moving
happy. Question number 2, please.
Question number 2 is up now.
What was the marketing slogan for the Galaxy S6 lineup? It's 3 words. Again, what was the marketing slogan for the Galaxy S6 lineup? I assume not everyone's going to just remember this. Life is good. That'd be funny. Just yank that from LG real quick.
Yeah, it'd be really funny, actually.
Yeah, it's not simply the best. It's not just do it. We have glass. I'm seeing Nick Fisher with the correct answer of next is now.
My chat's behind again. Oh, there it is. Next is now. Yep, Nick Fisher, first one.
Congratulations, Nick Fisher.
I do not remember that at all. I don't remember the Other than the S6 being sort of the reinvention of Samsung after they made that plastic garbage S5, I did not remember the slogan.
Yeah, Travis Halfman with the "Just Say No" answer. That was a pretty good one. It's pretty good.
Jesus. Just copy Apple. Oh, yeah, there's lots of good slogans for the S6.
Y'all bitter.
Yeah.
All right. So congratulations, Nick Fisher. Let's go ahead. Here's a softball for you. Question number 3, please.
Question number 3 is up now.
What was the first Android device available on Verizon Wireless? And if you have to Google this, get out of here. What was the first Android device available on Verizon Wireless? I'm a leaper. With the correct answer of, I take it back. Sorry, Luke.
Take that back.
Yeah, I take it back. Luke Citroniti. With the correct answer of Droid. Sorry about there. I'm a leaper. I didn't see Luke's. It's because I'm a leaper capitalized it. I was like, oh, it's all caps. Luke. Congrats.
Softball of all softball trivia questions.
That was a softball.
Wait, did anyone get it wrong? I gotta scroll. Did anyone say like the heiress or something like that? No one got it wrong. Right.
Rashad was going for heiress. Charles went heiress. That's okay.
It's fine, guys.
As long as they didn't put BBK. It was BBK. Luke, congratulations.
It was also the heiress on the same day. Technically, that could be right. Didn't the heiress launch at the exact same time? I'm not saying that that's correct. I'm just saying. Didn't they come out at the same time? It was one of those weird things, the little baby heiress. I just remember I knew some people who bought the heiress as I also got the Droid. And we were comparing, and they weren't getting even as many updates as we were. And there were some features they lacked, and they were hating life as I was over there just showing off the Droid.
Yeah, you were. Edward, we see you in the chat. Yeah, just not quite as quick. Your chat may differ from ours. We've got the most up-to-date one, so that's just the one we go for. If you feel like your latency is a little low, maybe try refreshing. I don't know. That's the best I can tell you, though. Sorry, we just have to go with what we see. Sorry, man.
Yeah, so Tim and I look at our chat, which is always the quickest, most up-to-date because we're the hosts, and our chats match identically, and so we go with that. So, yeah, sometimes, depending on your connection, you might show up before or after someone. We got to go with what we see.
Charles says, Wiki says release the same day. I don't care what Wiki says, all right? It was the Moto Droid. Anyway, moving on. Luke, congratulations. Let's go with question number 4.
Question number 4 is up now.
What OEM did Google use to produce the Nexus 9 tablet? Again, what OEM did Google use to produce the Nexus 9 tablet? I'm seeing Brandon Johnson? Yes, Brandon Johnson with the correct answer of HTC.
That is correct.
And
Brandon
that is
Johnson,
irrefutable.
HTC.
Just throwing
Are you
that
sure
out there.
Samsung didn't release the Nexus 10 at the same time?
I know. Well, who owns HTC? Because I guess that would be right too. So I don't know. I guess you could even say Beats by Dre produced it. Like, because I don't know. Stupid. This is a lot harder than you guys think, okay? I've done this like 150 times. I'm basically out of Android trivia. That's it. There's no more. I've asked everything you could possibly ask.
We're going to start doing like reader question submissions or something just to make it easier on you.
Oh, yeah. Feel free. If you got awesome Android trivia questions, send them to me via email. That would be awesome. Although then you would know the answer. You would have to exclude yourself from playing, just FYI. Although you could make a new username and stuff. I don't know. It's up to you if you really want to go through that much trouble. Anyway,
true, yeah.
Brandon Johnson, congratulations. All right, this is our last question.
Last question.
This is question number 5, but somehow we've already got 5 winners. Congratulations again to William and Zachary on that getting the correct answer on question number 1. So, question number 5, last question. Let's do it.
Question number 5 is up now.
What processor powered the Nexus 6? Oh, we're going back a few years. What processor powered the Nexus 6? Ooh, Eli was close, but it's Chris Williams with the correct answer of the Snapdragon 805. Man, Eli, so close, buddy. So close. Congratulations.
Snapdragon 805 was. These things all just like blend.
They blend together exactly. It didn't have 5G, I can tell you that much. So winners, William Perella, Zachary Webb, Nick Fisher, Luke Citroniti, Brandon Johnson, Chris Williams. You're all my lovely winners, and I want you to email me. I feel like some of y'all have emailed before, but winners, email me. And I'm putting my address in the chat right now. Tim at droid-life.com or hyphen, whatever you want to do. Email me. And again, if you got Android trivia question ideas, feel free to email them over. But again, I can't let you win because you know the answers. But I just love the idea of maybe getting some sweet Android trivia questions from you guys. That'd be really cool. So, yeah, I love that. Feel free to throw it to me on email or Twitter, whatever you got there, Jay. Congratulations to everyone. Tim, can I email you just to talk? Yeah, man, of course. I'm just sitting around. I got nothing better to do. You could email me, hit me up on Twitter. DMs are open, baby. Feel free to slide on in there. We can chat. I'm down to chat whenever. Anyway, this has been another fantastic session of Android trivia. Thank you guys so much for playing.
Thank you so much for holding us to our answers and our questions.
Yeah. Oh, real quickly, Greg says, Tim, you can use QuizUp for more questions. I've done that, dude. I've had to download QuizUp and like gone through the Android section just to get a couple. But like the problem is that they're really easy questions.
Yeah.
They're not even good. So, but I have done that before. So fantastic thing.
So $10 in Google Play money coming your way. Buy all the good stuff.
Yeah. Half of Star Wars.
So, random thing. So I'm a Leaper just said, looks like Nest is down. And while on air, wife with the message, Nest is broken. Can you turn up the heat?
Whoops.
But I just checked it.
Hey, Google.
Oh, no, it's definitely down.
Temperature to 63.
Nest is down. Spinny.
Oh, yeah, it's just spinning. Nothing.
Breaking news, end of trivia news, Nest is down.
Good.
You know what's really funny too is Google like this morning, or maybe it was last night, wrote this post on their blog titled, let me find it.
Find it,
said,
dude.
Well, first of all, we know they had an outage yesterday that they said they fixed. It said, they wrote a blog called Keeping Our Network Infrastructure Strong Amid COVID-19 as Nest just absolutely crashes in the middle of the day on a Friday. You know, not good timing there, Google. Not good timing at all. So yeah, Nest is apparently down.
Yeah,
I have to go manually turn the heat up, which I don't do. I don't manually turn up the heat.
I don't touch things in my house anymore. Like that's
we don't touch anything anymore.
No, I got the gloves. Yeah. Anyway,
my back. Well, it's a good show. It's good to be back. Good to see all of you. Number of you.
Technical difficulties. Yeah.
Yeah. Camera back. Internet fine. It was easy. All right. Well, I hope everyone is staying safe, keeping distances, wiping things, cleaning things, taking care of yourselves as you can. This is it's a difficult time for everybody. If you need to talk to somebody, do not hesitate to reach out and talk to somebody. Like, we're all stuck in houses. We're all stuck by ourselves. It can be a lonely, stressful time. Connect with people as you can. Fire up Google Duo. I've never used Google Duo. I might use Google Duo, use Hangouts, use Zoom, use whatever you can. Reach out to people. It feels actually pretty good to, I know like Tim and I are on this show talking, but it's like just to see somebody else's face that's not in your house is not a bad thing. Talk to my brother and the niece and my sister-in-law. It's just like, it brings a little bit of joy to talk to people. So reach out to people. There's numerous options. We'll all get through this as long as we stay connected in certain ways.
Hell yeah. Very, very nice. Wow.
That's all I got. We had lots of donations though, so let me run through those real quick. Let's go back. Sarah Washington with the 475, Charles with the 10, Mystical Melissa with the 2, so Tim can get a haircut. Bert with the 2, Big Bomb Dono Don dropped a 25er, Shulker with the 2. Appreciate those donos, everyone. Speaking of that, I know, well, if you're new around here or missed some of our shows in the past, we've picked a trivia from time, or not trivia. a charity from time to time where we run like a 3-month long charity drive and every single donation goes to that. We will revisit that very soon because we're getting to a point where, some charities could certainly use the support at this point. So we'll start talking about that soon. And yeah. Anyways, thanks for the donos. This show. We'll figure something out in the future.
Oh yeah.
You good with the lights?
I'm just having fun.
Nice. Hopefully everyone's playing lots of Call of Duty Warzone and
catch me on there.
Big update today. They loadouts jumped up to $8,500. So if you're one of those loadout folks, good times though. All right. Anything else? Long show. Good show.
Great show. Thank you everyone for joining. Hope you all have a pleasant weekend. Stay safe. Wash your hands.
Stay safe. Thanks, guys. We will see you probably next week.
Peace.